recording. Things go well, yo. Just double check my... Yes. My audio settings are correct. For once. You're welcome. Oh,
Woo.
wow. That was fast. Okay, Corin, we are good to go.
All right. So I suppose the question now is, who would like to be handling the recap?
I'll go ahead this time.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
Then go ahead and lead us on a recap through what happened last episode in Jumpchain here in the world of Remnant.
Oh, last time we were already on the boat, but then we got onto the whale. The problem with the whale is now Moby Dick, but he's not Moby Dick. He's Mobius, and in the whale was the fallen gospel. I guess that's a future reference, I guess. But the seraphim without a mask was kind of going haywire on the whale, and our team before had decided to capture the seraphim and try to keep Mobius alive, or to help Katie stabilize Mobius and then get out of there. Tense things happened, and and we still decided to go through with that plan in the end. Though, interesting enough, in the whale was the mask in the heart, which we think was that the heart was keeping it alive, and also giving it like an aura.
Yeah, the large mask was providing a considerable amount of energy to Mobius, which not only assisted him in surviving to grow as large as he is, it also seems to be the source of the energy that makes him a heliotrope type, an individual with the capacity to manipulate the weather of the surrounding area based on how it's feeling.
So if we took the mask out, without being thousands of leagues under the sea, like, would it still have the ability it has, or just turn into like a regular Grim without like
That's a good
supernatural?
question that you don't know the answer to. But I mean, if you want to engage in some sweet, sweet science, there's only a small possibility that it would totally harm Mobius.
Right. So after that, um, things are captured. Crew got hurt. Speaking of like, um,
Only like
from
one
getting
of
hurt.
us got hurt.
Yeah.
The crew
Some.
seems to be fine. Maybe Rose.
Oh, I meant
I don't
our
know how
crew.
fine
Yeah,
Rose
I
is.
don't know about them, but yeah. Um. We figure out that. Well, we figured that one of the seraphim was dropped off because it couldn't have just because could have had it. Well, words. It should have had to eaten people to be able to hatch from the egg. So we're thinking that it got dropped off onto the top um, of the whale after that fact, but we don't really know who. But we have a feeling it was probably someone that's going along with the gospel. And the only reason we know that it's a gospel is that Katie touched the whale again and
I touched
decided
a whale.
she touched the boat, the butt, and she got a vision, the image of the past, which is where we saw black and white pair of hands that fought against the Grim and the Gospel, and in the sky, like way before um, the moon was shattered, or no, when the moon was shattered, of course. And now we're like, well, why are they fighting in the first place if the Gospel and the Grim were fighting these hands? Does like the Seraphim even know why they're doing this, but now we know it's called the gospel because Mobius told us so.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Mobius has
now
confirmed that the race are known as Gospels, and the individuals have various names such as Cherub or Cherubim for plural, the Seraphim, and the Powers. Though you've only encountered one of those.
right. So now we're on a boat. Have we seen land yet?
Technically speaking, the answer to that is yes. As you all were spending
Probably
the
not.
period of time doing your practicing, training, and getting a better understanding of your abilities, uh, particularly, I know that Katie wanted to learn to heal, and Lynn, you wanted to learn how to create gravity wells instead of just pulling in specific directions. I think Jackalope wanted to learn to mitigate movements during absorption, and Hunter, I don't remember what we talked about at all.
Yeah. But the current situation is we did the training, and the Seraphim, Maskos Seraphim, is currently in the warehouse still, and we'll decide what happens.
This is all correct. However, an important element to remind you is that not only did the flashbacks give you information as to the nature of what a gospel is and the whole fight with the hands, it also shows that back when Mobius was nothing but a little tiny Moby, he was given that mask by an individual who looked identical to the woman Ariadne that you encountered in the church in the past. Howdy, howdy, Eleonora. That's
Where that connection came from.
yeah. So, considering the fact that that would have had to have been centuries ago, either Ariadne has some really strong genes, or she might be a little older than she was letting on.
Also, the dragon thing.
Oh yes, a
Oh, yeah.
dragon got slapped with a chunk of the moon into the ground.
That was the Dragon Grim, and then the Gospel were what? Well, it was a white thing, wasn't it? Let's see.
Yeah,
And the
the
moon was
giant.
slammed by the dragon. Let's see.
During the
creature of light.
flashback, the giant dark hands were tearing apart a creature of light, and as its chunks were torn apart and cast up into the sky, thus were the stars that you know today born.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Ariadne is more sus than before. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So unless anybody has anything that they want to like specifically call out about the flashback or not flashback, recap, anything that felt particularly important, then I think we'd be about ready to move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should I say besides the fact that Jack and Linnae are now at a very odd place of
Yes,
relationship.
there was definitely a fair bit of a blowout there, which ended up resulting in some. Let's just say it resulted in an interesting roleplay opportunity. Jackalope blowing up at Lynn, it seems like there might be some strain in the current group. But if nothing else, I'm quite confident that worse comes to worse and things start lighting on fire. Jackalope is not the kind of person to put those kind of strains and emotional difficulties over survival and putting down the enemy.
Very much so.
About what you're willing to do. It's the whole thing.
And with that, I do believe that catches us all up on what has happened since before, which means that alongside that little bit of training time that y'all got, you're halfway to leveling up, and you've just touched down in the land of Vale, the eastern portion of the continent of Sanus.
Nice.
As you all arrive, what is the first thing that clearly shows the world around you is that this is a bustling port town with way more than just a few boats all over the place. Full-sized ships, you notice some really large, like cruise liner level stuff off in the distance as well. They are not hard to spot considering their size. Most notably, the cabin kind of leads you into it's more like a separate cape region, and it becomes clear why when you can see that more than a few of these boats are a little sussy, let's say. Seems like privateers and the like, they're pretty good at keeping to the law. They've got their own designated area to be going about doing their officially licensed piratical business. But it also seems like more than a few ships here might not be as legal about their piracy as others.
Oof.
As long as you don't go starting any fights, though, I'm sure that you're not going to end up with a couple of captains coming down on your head.
Well, that's good to hear, at least.
As you all pull up into the dock region, the captain ends up striding off and gesturing for everyone to follow. A short conversation between Silvers and the dockhand later, and everything seems to be fine. As Burgundy looks over the group and says, "All right, welcome to Vale, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the ride. I didn't hear a single person ask me, are we there yet? So nobody went overboard. So I'd say that was a perfectly good journey for everyone here."
Thanks for having us.
No problem. I wish half as my jobs were as easy and convenient as what 90% of that was. I'm just going to pretend like the Mobius incident, I'm just going to pretend that never happened. Feels a lot easier that way.
Nah, thanks for having us.
No problem.
Hey,
Why did you just roll a dice?
Hey, Captain. Hey, Captain.
What's up, Jackalope?
Are we there yet? Sorry, you left that way too open. I had to think to you.
I thought I was gonna do it first.
Yeah. But
Back in the
he
ocean.
left the challenge open. He left it open. I'm sorry. I know we're here, but the challenge was open. And I have a baseball bat. I'm going to swing.
You stole my line.
You know what? I'm gonna let it go. This time, if we end up on the same boat again, I can't say that I won't hold it against you. But yes, we are there yet.
Good. And don't
Well,
worry.
It's probably the first time she's ever said yes when someone's asked that.
And don't worry. If there is a next time, hopefully we actually have a peaceful trip. Well, hopefully not. Depends on the day.
No promises.
yeah, ferrying hunt. I should have figured this out. Ferrying hunters would have gone. Oh well. Anyway, if any of you need any assistance navigating, I will direct you to the bar. It's way off in the distance. Just listen to the sounds of shouting, and the louder it gets, the closer you're getting. You'll be able to get a good amount of information on locations and the like there. You might be able to arrange for some travel. In the meantime, I'm going to go take a nap, because I am a little tired.
About the warehouse the portal on the ship that's being covered by one of your stuff.
Oh yeah, Rose went into a right. Huh. I guess I can go pull him out of there.
Oh, do you happen to know anywhere around here that makes something like completely sealable? Does one of the taverns have? But it'd have to be strong enough, I guess.
Yeah, when it comes to that sort of thing, I'm not going to be the best one to ask about that. I'm more about breaking into things than I am about that, the opposite thing.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I'm going to go drag Rose out of your magic hole, and then y'all can get right on your way. Ask the tavern folk about whatever he needs asking about. Sound good to you?
Heck yeah.
All right. Strides over to the boat to where you have the hole and basically steps in and shouts, "Rose, quit playing with the puppy and get out here." Sure enough, a minute later, Rose steps out, clearly covered in quite a few scratches, bruised up all over, but the widest grin you've seen on the guy as he's rolling his shoulder. With a crunch, you can hear that rather than just rolling it, it seems that he popped it right back into the socket after some dislocation.
Ugh.
All right.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, the dislocation and relocation of one's own body parts. Good times.
Yeah, let's see. The rest of the kids getting off the boat, are they?
Yeah, thanks for holding it down.
No problem. Look, you kids take care of yourself, all right? Don't go getting killed off randomly. If you're gonna go out in style.
Try.
Cool.
I
Hopefully
do
I see you all
everything in
around.
style.
I'll take your word for it. You show up back around here sometime, and as long as the captain ain't against it, I ain't got a problem with ferrying you on the way back, assuming you're ever headed back to Anima.
Who knows?
Yeah. Later, kids. I'm gonna get Jasper to pour a bucket of alcohol over my wounds now.
Goodness. Thanks
Have
again.
fun.
No problem.
With that, he heads down into the ship, and notably, the Seraph is not trying to escape through the hole at the moment.
Should I
Odd.
pop my head in to see, or what the fuck?
Is it
Would
dead?
you like to?
Yeah, I'll see.
As you pop your head in, you can clearly see that it looks about as beat up as Rose did, only slightly less maneuverable. It seems to have been put through several. See, is ringer the right? It looks like it's been put through the ringer more than a few times. Looks beaten down, and at the moment, it seems just exhausted enough that it's not trying to escape. Once it recovers, it'll likely be able to continue trying to escape from the area, but for now, at least, it seems fine.
Alrighty.
All right. You are now located inside of the port town off the side of Saunas. You could head over to the bar in order to figure out what's going on there. You could start going around and instead asking about information from the myriad ships and captains that litter the general area. Some of them have slightly more ominous flags than others, but some information might be gotten either way. Or you could just randomly wander and see where that takes you.
Katie starts healing off in a random direction. And it's just like, I wonder if anyone here can make me a rocket launcher.
Well, I assume that she will be okay.
It's like, wee!
Well, better way
I-
to go than no way, I guess.
I have no idea where I'm going.
Well, better follow her.
All
I'll
right,
try
so
to
it looks
collect
like
some
Lynn
information.
Okay.
I'm
through
gonna go
what
start
venues?
a bar fight.
Oh my god.
Okay. Hunter, where are you going to gather the information?
Well, I was going to go to the bar.
Perfect.
Well, it sounds like two of you are going to the bar for wildly different reasons, while Lynn and Katie are going in a random direction. Katie goeth wherever the Healy's doth take her, I suppose.
Yeah, that's her life mantra.
Gotta keep on Helian to stay away from the Felian. So I'll lead with Hunter and Jackalope. Making it to the bar is as easy as following the loud, raucous shouting. Despite the fact that it is in the middle of the day, it does not seem to be slowing down the rate of drinking from some of the folks here. There's a wide variety of figures, some of them looking very like the very stereotypical pirate, long, unkempt beard, big old tricone hat, and all of that, while some of the folks here look more anime protagonist. You're fairly confident you saw at least 5 people sitting in dimly lit corners, but who knows how that works out. If you wanted to start a bar fight, it'd probably be as easy as just hitting just anyone in the area. As for gathering information, you could talk to the tavern keep, you could talk to some of the pirates, some of the edgy anime boys, or you can try and look around for anyone else that stands out, if none of those
I would
attract your attention.
probably talk with the tavern keep. If I remember correctly, we are here to eventually get to Vale Academy to help them, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So we don't know our way around here, so my main inquiries is going to be, where's the Hunter Academy?
Cool. Jackalope, since you're looking around for the purpose of starting a bar fight, what stands out to you is not only the aforementioned figures, but also the fact that as you look, step in, it becomes clear that there's some kind of bouncer. You end up seeing them standing a little bit behind you as you come in, close to the door, and she seems rather small for a bouncer, but given the fact that she's got a mech shift weapon on her, it's likely she has some sort of hunter training. She seems to have her eyes covered by a large scrap of cloth. The slow breathing of her suggests that maybe she's taking a nap, but it's hard to tell. Mech shift
Jackalope
weapon.
just wildly starts waving his hands in front of her face. Like,
Well,
can this person actually see?
So as you wave your hands in front of her face, it seems like she doesn't respond.
Oh, I can milk this for stupidity.
Roll perception or sense. Sense is one for perception, isn't it?
Ooh.
All right, you got a success. So with that success, you can tell that while she doesn't show any outward signs of responding, it's even though you're really close to her, she seems to be choosing to not respond. She seems to be aware of your presence, but is instead just ignoring you right now.
I will ignore you.
When in doubt, yeet.
Oh no.
A person or yourself?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
All right, would
Suplex.
you like to describe what you're about to do, or what you're about to try?
Jackalope just looks at this lady, notices all this, looks at some of the edgy children in the corners, walks over to one of the edgy people in the corners, just yeets them into the middle of the room.
Okay, go ahead and roll a strength check.
Please let this work. If this works, it'll be so
I
stupid.
would love if you got a crit. Oh
Nope.
god.
No.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
See their
no.
dexterity. Well, they
This
do
just arm
outroll
just
you.
breaks the moment he grabs her. Just, huh.
Yeah, you reach over to grab onto him, but instead your hand is caught at the wrist by said edgy boy as he looks up towards you. What exactly are you trying to pull, old man?
Ooh.
Aw, jeez. Just called you a
Character.
geezer. You
You
just
know, I'm
gonna
actually
take
pretty
that?
bored, so I'm looking for a fight. Pretty simple. Also,
Well,
I'm like 20.
yeah, at that he scoffs. Well, if you're looking for a fight, then he suddenly freezes, and you notice his eyes shift towards the barkeep, or not the barkeep, the bouncer.
Bouncer.
Oh, if it's a fight you want, then let's just go and let's take it outside.
Why are you scared of the small person? She's blind.
Do you look behind you to take a look at her?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, I'm not scared of anything.
Oh, could you get a bit
Still,
closer
if
to your
you-
mic, Wally?
Look.
Thank you.
Look, I have no sense for danger, my friend. If I'm being glared at, I can't tell.
Well, if you're that hungry for a fight, then go ahead. He leans back in his seat, just relaxing and putting his hands behind his head. Go ahead and be the first one to throw a hit. He just closes his eyes and relaxes.
Do it.
Question. Brain function. I know we're a little sleepy, but come on, we can do this.
Gambare.
Gambare. Your brain's just like, no questions for you, boy.
No questions. Only attempt to punch. Look, I don't really care. I'm very sleepy today. My brain's on chaos mode. I'm
Chaos
gremlin
mode.
energy today.
Okay, well, you just gonna rear back and go for that good old-fashioned punch to the face?
I mean, he did say throw the punch. Jackalope will oblige.
Right
Okay.
hook.
All right. It equalizes out to a neutral, but he's not exactly trying to dodge either. So it ends up shooting straight forward. Meanwhile, oh, okay. He ends up basically getting, as you impact against his face, his chair bounces back from the force of the attack as his head slams against the back of the wall, and he lets out an indignant and very surprised shout.
What? You said punch.
Yeah, I didn't think it would land. Ah, come on. Ah. You hear some footsteps approaching from behind you.
I'm just call out after I hear the thunk against the wall. You shouldn't challenge him to something that he can win at.
It's kind of one of the only things I'm good at. Seriously, you said punch. What else were you expecting?
I think he was expecting me to intervene. The bouncer is now standing beside you.
Oh, hey, it's the blind person. Sup?
You trying to start things?
Kind of bored. Yes and no. Best way to learn anything is to fight people.
I'll respectfully disagree.
Well, I got you talking, didn't it?
There's just dead silence in response to that.
Jackalop's just like staring at the slightly smaller person, just like he didn't make a point. Got someone talking.
If you want to learn something, then be better at ask pointed questions instead of just throwing the first punch.
To be fair, technically you could argue that verbally he threw the first punch.
Yeah, you could argue that, but it would be pretty dumb to try.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not one for semantics.
Yeah,
Noticing
neither
her
am I.
weapon, do I know what it is?
Looking it over, it is a makeshift weapon, and it looks to be around hunter quality. The kind of stuff that you would expect to have been made by either a graduate or a pretty skilled student at the Hunter Academy. From the seams of things, it appears to be... The basic form of it is a bit tough to make out, given the fact that the sheath is large and bulky. Whatever's inside of it, you can't really make out the details, but it does become clear that the sheath itself is designed to be part of the weapon. The mech shift seems to allow the sheath to transform into something else.
I'm going to walk over, as she seems like a better source of intel for hunters than the barkeep. I'll just kind of walk over, stand next to Jack, and I'll be like, my friend doesn't quite understand much other than fists from where he came from. Do apologize for any. I'm going to look at the guy who slammed against the wall. Inconveniences he may have applied at the moment. We are looking for some information. Primarily, do you know where the Hunter Academy of Vale is at the moment?
She opens her mouth to respond before you hear the nasally shout of, "He literally just punched me in the face and you're not throwing him out?"
I like look back at him and just be like, you let him.
You kind of did. You said
In
punch.
fact, you even stated he's allowed to.
Yeah,
You
I
did.
expected the rules to be enforced. That the bouncer kind of shits. He's not wrong. If you've got questions, I'll answer them near the door. If nothing else, then I won't be able to hear him.
Hunter mainly just shrugs. It's just like, lead the way.
This is by
Dude.
far the most boring bar I've ever been to.
I do my best.
Is there a fighting ring he can punch people in?
Legally, I am required to answer no to that question, as answering yes to that question would result in legal issues for the owner of this bar.
Let's
It's
step
downstairs.
outside. Oh. Alright. Jack, have fun.
Yay. Where?
You're asking where the stairs are, right? Um, you see the sign that says toilets?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you just go up to them, and instead of going into the toilets, you hang a left.
Thank you.
Cool.
Watch that
I love
direction.
the statement. Where? Oh, you mean the stairs?
Oh, and don't maim, kill, burn, inflict frostbite, or otherwise cause permanent issues with any individuals participating in it, because the liability waivers don't extend to death and or... God, I never remember the damn script. Whatever. Don't kill
Don't
people.
take off their arms, just break their bones. Just a little.
It'll be like when I first met you. Don't expect them to keep their money. Jacob just walks that direction.
She looks confused. Why would they be participating in a fighting ring if they had money?
He comes from a very strange place. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So, you carry yourself like a hunter.
Aye.
Your outfit suggests Mistral.
Out of character, I think that's correct.
Yes, that is
Okay.
where you come from and the place that gave you your uniform.
Indeed. I just came here from on a boat. We were to meet up with the Hunters Academy of Vale, help them out with some problems before going to Vacuum.
Oh. Well, are you just looking for directions or what?
Directions, possibly someone to bring us there if possible, make it so they don't believe that we are enemies at first or some sort. But main just directions, places to go, people to see, things
How
like that.
tolerable do you find slimy businessmen?
He shrugs.
If you're fine with walking slime, I can recommend you to a guide that'll take you straight there. His prices are a little annoying.
I've dealt with worse, but money is not that high on us at the moment.
Low on funds. Well, I can recommend you a less pricey alternative guide. Unfortunately, while he's not a slimy businessman, he is a walking piece of slime.
You seem to recall a lot of people who are slimy.
Yeah, it's a side effect of working on the docks. Half the people I meet are pirates, a quarter of them are pirates in anything but name, and the last quarter of them deal with pirates and privateers.
Sounds like
So-
a fancy job.
I'm assuming that was sarcastic.
Indeed.
In which, good, it was funny. Now, if you're looking for that sort of thing... Fuck. If you're looking for that sort of thing, go to the toilets, hang a left, and go down the stairs. He's probably running the bets right now.
Well, that'd be easy enough to win them in our favor. Jack tends to, I look at the guy against the wall, be a force to be reckoned with.
Neat. I'm just gonna keep watching the door because it's 12:36. Yeah, I've got 20 minutes until a certain pirate captain's gonna stride in here like he owns the place. So, I'm just gonna sit here until I've got to do my job. If you
Okay.
start hearing gunshots from up here, don't get shot. It's safer to stay down there, and there's an emergency exit. But on the other hand, you're a hunter, so I'm pretty sure you've been shot at enough.
Yeah, I kind of like move my my gun a little bit, like just kind of more obvious. I'm like, yeah, I tend to not leave much left of them when they shoot at me. It's kind of an
Yeah.
issue.
If you're ever looking for a proper makeshift weapon, I hear the island of Patch has some pretty good folks, and that's not far off the beaten path on the way to Beacon Academy.
The island Apache. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'm always looking to see more makeshift weapons and how they work and how they function. This is simply a prototype of mine. I've rebuilt this thing countless times.
Cool.
It's not,
You gonna go
not
keep
much
your,
to look at, but
You gonna go keep your friend from punching out the bookie?
I suppose I have to.
Yeah.
Before I go, though, what's your shift weapon?
Oh. Uh, chins up, hefting it. The sheath ends up transforming into a gauntlet that shapes around my arm, whereas the weapon itself is a hatchet.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got its ranged form, but honestly, I don't like displaying all of my cards, especially since if you're a member of the Academy, it's not impossible that we'll end up on the other side of the Vital Festival.
If we ever are, I expect you to fight me at full force.
If we ever are, I expect you to put up a fight.
Don't worry, I
Scram.
will. I'll nod
Scram,
to
I
her.
gotta get this job done.
I'll nod and start walking towards the toilet hole.
As you head downstairs, well, normally it'd be that we'd switch over Jackalope. He's currently BRB, so instead, before we go into the downstairs fighting arena in order to figure out what's going on there, we'll instead be following Katie and Lynn as you go healing away.
Why am I not?
Katie's just healing until she finds something
we go.
interesting.
It doesn't take
Percentile
very
die.
long. As Katie, you end up almost literally bumping into somebody as he's sauntering up and down the docks. Lynn, you end up spotting him in advance. Namely, thanks to your extreme senses, it becomes clear that he was waiting for someone to approach so that he could dramatically saunter out. Oh, hey there.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Uh, he seems genuinely caught off guard that you ask him that question. The name, yeah, the name's Mercury. I'm not used to people being that friendly. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm just healing until I find something interesting.
All right. Well, I do have a bit of a question for you then. What kind of interesting you looking for?
Interesting, like find something cute, find something dangerous, find something life-threatening, find something life-threatening and cute, that sort of thing.
Well, I think I might be able to help out with that. Welcome back, Jack. When it comes to just dangerous sorts of things going on, I do happen to know a guy who knows a guy. What kind of
Ooh.
dangerous are you looking for?
Uh,
Do you have explosives?
Ooh, do you have
In
explosives?
spades.
Nice.
Cool.
My
Do
my
you
friend
have
the goose over here.
Yeah. Do you have particular things that are tightly sealed and very hard to get out of?
Mhm.
Are we talking like lock boxes?
I'm talking about like a stealable prison for no apparent
Sealable
reason.
prison? For no apparent reason. Well, maybe this isn't the kind of conversation we should have on the open docks, huh? Because that sounds like you might be dealing with some, let's say, extra legal affairs. Why not? Let's go ahead and dip on into my office. And he gestures to the boat next to him.
Alrighty.
End up boarding the boat. If you wanted to be nice, you'd call it cozy. If you wanted to be honest, you'd call it cramped. You end up sitting at a small table. He's like, let's see. So you're looking for something tight, sealed. What kind and how much space you need inside of it? We talking like 10 cubic feet, 100 cubic feet?
How internally, what am I thinking that I'll need for this for the seraphim and for
For the
like
prison?
generally overall like one of them?
Honestly, you're probably wanting something about the size of, like, to safely contain it adequately, you're probably wanting something along the lines of a fridge. And normally you'd need something considerably larger, but with your miniaturization stuff, you'd probably be able to figure out a way to store this thing in about a fridge size.
Okay. Something about I guess it would be fridge sized, but it also had to be tightly sealed, air compacted, and well, it had to be
Yeah.
stronger than what one would normally be able to break out of.
Okay. So we're talking some pretty. So you need reinforced material, a relatively large size, at least large enough to fit a person in. You want it hermetically sealed. I think you basically said, since you want it airtight. Something like that. That's a little hard to come by, But I think I might know a guy who knows a guy. See, that's the sort of stuff that you'd need for storing considerably large amounts of dust. If it's not hermetically sealed, you're going to have leakages, and then you have issues where things can end up going up in flames. So, if we're talking like a large sort of dust storage system, yeah, I
It
think. Hmm?
well, it doesn't need. It's not dust that I'm. But you know, does
Oh,
that make
trust
it
me.
more complicated if
If
it wasn't?
If it can hold dust, it can hold just. Remember, dust can function as an explosive. So if we're talking something that has to be able to resist internalized explosions without being able to break while simultaneously prevent anything from getting in, dust is probably your best bet. If you, unless we're talking, unless we're talking like you're trying to hold back a whole. No, even if you wanted to contain something like an Ursa, it'd be so cramped in there, it wouldn't be able to get out.
Poor thing.
Well, I could take larger versions as well. I have the space.
Well, I could probably procure that kind of thing for you, but I'd need a little assistance here. You scratch my back and all that.
Uh, you need me to kill someone?
Oh no. See, no, nah.
Do
I'm
you
not.
need
I'm not.
murder assistance? I have a
Like
lot of it.
there was like a look of like I don't know if I'm gonna do that kind of look on her face when she said that.
Yeah, I'm not looking for killers right now. If I wanted that, honestly, you, look. If I wanted killers, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't be asking. He
To a
gestures
girl.
vaguely towards Katie. It's like,
Hi.
she's like heeling up and down the docks with a shit-eating grin on her face and like a lab coat looking thing. I mean, she looks like a researcher, you know.
Yeah, that works.
That's
I mean,
true.
And
I do have
no offense
guns,
meant to
so.
you, but like, you look kind of delicate, ma'am.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, overall, I don't need killers. And before you say anything, I also don't need girls to go undercover. I'm not talking like long con games. I'll leave that to the Don. Thank you very much.
She
No,
gave
see,
a confused face for a second there. Like it hadn't even come up with that she didn't think of that.
yeah. What I'm gonna need you to do is I'm gonna need to help you do a delivery. Uh, firstly and most importantly, can you resist the urge to open up a mystery box if it's given to you?
I can. She probably can't. I can hold it.
You can keep a mystery box safe and sealed.
Yes.
You're sure
Yes.
about this?
No. Yes. With my abilities, yeah.
We can certainly try.
Okay. Then in that case, I think we might be able to do business.
Yay!
As long as you're willing to deliver this box, he ends up pulling something out from underneath the cramped table and sets it down. This right here, high quality lockbox, very small. As you can see, it's only about the size of a head. Very well sealed, designed to be resistant to any form of being broken into. Only way to get in is with this little key fob. And he pulls out the key fob. Now, my recommendation: one of you hold the box, the other holds the key fob. I don't care who, just do not put the key fob next to the box. If you can deliver this to the right person, then I'll make sure that you get your goods. I'll even have it delivered wherever you need it.
Who's the person? Do you have a picture?
I do, yes. He's a little bit of an oddball. You're gonna be able to find him. God, right? What time is it?
No clue.
It's like 12:30, 12:40ish.
Okay. It's about noonish.
Okay. Well, at around 1 p.m., the guy has attended. He's part of this crew that frequents the nearby tavern. Their captain is he's a character. You're gonna be looking for the second mate, and you're gonna want to deliver this box to the second mate. So around 1 p.m., just make sure you're inside of the bar. He always makes a scene there. He's got a really big thing for the bouncer there, so he keeps trying to start shit.
Sorry, this sounds familiar. What's the name?
Oh, honestly, I don't bother remembering his name. I try to stay away from the pirates whenever possible. I just 100% sure that they end up running as God, they're green themed. Whole damn crew, green top to bottom.
And thing.
Sage. That's the name of the guy. You need to deliver it to Sage.
Sage. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Second mate Sage of whatever the hell their names were. Just look for a captain that's trying to start something because he's into a bouncer. It's kind of a weird scene.
Hmm.
That's into a bouncer.
Yeah. And one more thing, just to make sure. Under what circumstances are you going to open the box?
None?
None.
Got it in one.
Unless we're really, really interested.
You're really making it hard to have confidence in you there, Miss Researcher.
I'll go
Mm.
ahead. She'll carry the fob.
Okay.
Now, what's this fob thing?
Fob is for opening the box. You need to make sure that you give it to Sage.
Look,
Maybe you
Who is
should
the
not give the
captain?
researcher the ability to open the locked box.
Well,
I mean, it's either that or give her the locked box.
yeah.
She can't open the locked box if she's holding the locked box.
Do
I think he's
not
scared that
make
she'll
a
try.
challenge.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if you're not gonna, well, if I'm not trustworthy with opening the thing, with with the possibility of opening the thing,
I don't think that
I'll
you're
just.
not trustworthy. I just know who you are.
Oh, that's fair.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give this fob thing to the most trustworthy person I know. She turns to the goose.
Yes.
Oh no.
Okay. How do you give it to the goose? Do you have him hold it in his mouth?
No, because then he might eat it. It might be tasty. I don't know. I don't know that for certain.
Remember, Goose,
just
It's
if
made
you
of plastic,
swallow the
plastic
key
and metal.
fob, all you have to do is throw it back up when we need it. You got this.
I just tuck it underneath a little ribbon thing that he's around his neck, just secured there.
Okay. As he does that, he kind of adjusts and fluffs himself up before taking a dramatic pose. It's well hidden now.
Nice, nice.
Would you
Alright.
believe me if I said I genuinely didn't notice the goose?
The goose is stealthy like that, you know?
I'll take your word for it. Anyway, and here he pulls out a small piece of paper. This right here is my scroll number, so you're gonna need to make sure that you call me up once you get the job done. You make sure that you're gonna get something that confirms the delivery. It doesn't matter. And then we'll talk about your payment. All right?
Cool, cool.
Alright.
Excellent. Pleasure doing business with you two ladies. Always good to see a pair of mugs that look like they belong in a finer place than down in the dismal docks. You know.
Right.
Yeah,
Thanks
okay.
for. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you around. And yeah, just remember, all this business is being conducted by yours truly. Name's Mercury, 100%. Name you can rely on.
Heck yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I
He gives
barely
you
know
2
who
thumbs
you
up.
are, and I can already tell you're totally trustworthy.
You got a good eye, miss. Now, if you could please vacate my boat. I think I saw a crab in here and I need to hunt it down. Kinda hungry.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
I heal you out of the premises.
Yeah. As you leave, you hear the sound of several snip snip, followed by a yelp of pain from someone who has clearly been snip snipped by a crab.
Mess
But,
with the
yeah.
crabbo, you get the stabbo.
Yep. So you end up heading out. I assume that you're headed to the tavern.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Could I? I don't know. Would it be good if I opened up a portal and just set something, or maybe shouldn't right now? I don't know how
That
long he'll
is
be dazed for.
yeah.
Nah, never mind. I'm not gonna give it. If he swallows this thing, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, as you head to the bar, we're going to cut back to Jackalope first, since he ended up going downstairs first. When you arrive down there, it's to a pretty expansive area. It's clearly designed to be a fight club. You can see the big old ring that defines the area where folks are meant to stand. Notably, however, you do see some odd pieces of tech set up around it that you're not exactly familiar with. You can hear the loud bustle of a crowd currently shouting all sorts of things, cheering on whoever's currently in the ring. You don't recognize either of them, and honestly, they don't look that strong in the first place. However, the one who stands out the most has got to be this he's got a wide grin on his face, blonde hair that goes down to the middle of his back, and he's just standing there waving a fat stack of cash, going, "All right, bets are closed on this round, everybody. Bets are closed on this round. Let's go ahead and see who ends up taking the victory when it comes to red versus blue." Looking into the center of the stage, you can see that each of the fighters seems to be cast with small amounts of light around them, matching the colors. The red fighter is a bit taller, a bit lankier. Blue one is definitely a bit stouter and seems a bit more resilient, but he also looks fairly beat up. The long arms on red means that he ends up having a significant advantage until a moment later, there's a surprising move from blue as he ends up throwing out a kick that targets the knee of red. Long story short, with a pretty reasonable fight, blue ends up barely taking out taking the victory. Though you note that he's missing a tooth, and there is a tooth on the floor. There's probably a connection there. The floor starts clearing up as the next round is probably going to be getting announced soon, and you arrive in time for that. As you see that the bookie is currently leafing through the cash.
Hey, man with the money.
That's my favorite way for people to refer to me. What can I do for you, Mr. Damn, you military or something?
Former.
Former. Nice. Honorable discharge, or are we talking the funny stuff?
Honorable in my case, but you serve long enough with certain things, you end up getting some nicknames.
Nice. We talking decorated. You look a little young to be that decorated, but I ain't stopping a child soldier from getting into this. You looking to sign up?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your weight class?
Walter White.
What the hell's a Walter White?
No, Walter White.
Walter Wade. Yeah, sorry, I don't actually know the terminology. I'm here to make cash. I need a 1 to 10.
Probably a 5 to 7.
5 to 7? Cool, cool. Let's see. Normally we just toss people by colors, but you seem like the kind of guy who might have his own nickname. You want to go named or you want to go non?
Jackalope.
Jackalope. Nice. I'll put you up with with another named. Okay. You want to put a bet down on yourself? Note, you're not allowed to put bets down on your enemy. It incentivizes fight throwing, which is kind of a dick move.
Hey. He points at him. Only the cowardice bet on their enemies.
Yeah, exactly, right? Unfortunately, cowardice makes you a lot of cash, so that's why I'm not in the ring. But do you want to put a bet on yourself?
Nah, I'm here to fight, not bet, really. If other people want to bet on me or bet against me, I don't care.
Cool, cool. All right. Basic rules. You're a guy, so you need to make sure you got nothing over the waist currently being worn. I don't care what it is. If you're a dude, you need to go bare chested. Just got to make sure that you're not hiding any weapons there. When it comes to pants, honestly, I'm supposed to make sure that you down whatever small clothes you got. We don't actually care. So pants are fine. Just make sure that what's that prosthetic made out of?
Metal.
You know what? I'll accept it. Yeah, okay. Mr. Metal Arm.
Naked mud wrestling.
Oh,
Darn it,
no.
Ellie.
All
I mean,
right.
I don't mind going bare chested if people don't mind heavy scarring.
You kidding? You show off the goods, you're gonna get a few more bets than you'd think. Honestly, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna call the odds in your favor here. You look kind of toned. You got talking about scar tissue. You're missing an entire fucking arm. You've seen some shit, haven't you?
I had a good time.
I believe it. Okay, Jackie.
You're a little
By the
bit
way,
quiet, by
what's
the
with
way,
the-
Jack.
I may or may not at the moment have a cat on my chest. I can't move.
Ah, the cat's
That
just
is the
like,
choice.
I have made you quiet, except me.
I have
Okay.
silenced the mighty.
Random question for you. What's with the odd machinery?
Oh, that stuff. It's basically it interrupts aura and the like. You see, it's when you got a slugfest between a pair of folks with activated auras. It turns the first like 5 minutes of it is just wailing on each other, trying to get through the aura in the first place because it shields and all that. Nah, that's boring. Nobody hears. If we wanted people to be going in while being protected, we'd make sure that folks were dressed up in full plate. Nah, it makes sure that you don't got any of that aura protection. The aura slows down the healing. We're talking a proper bare knuckle brawl like days back before your aura ever got awoken. Which also lets some of the folks who don't have awakened auras get right into the meat of it and throw some punches right where it hurts. I've seen more broken noses in this basement than I have in my entire life out there. I swear to God.
Neat.
Normally I ask at this point, oh, does that scare you off? But I like the sound of that neat, Jackie.
Haven't had a good
You-
actual proper fight since I got here.
You know what? I got just the opponent for you. You go ahead, you strip down to whatever you're comfortable with, bare chest only, and when you step out, you make sure to show off those scars and that prosthetic because you're gonna need to show off a little if you want people betting on you, considering who I'm putting you up against.
Understood. Sounds like fun.
All right. Fight's gonna start in 5. You make sure you're ready, and I see someone coming down those stairs, and he's got a big fuck off gun. You've got my interest. You go ahead and head off. I'm gonna see how much money that guy has to make a bet.
Hey, Hunter.
Yeah, and that is, of course, Hunter,
Yo.
the one with big gun.
Mhm.
Oh my God, you know the guy. This is
They
wonderful.
don't allow aura in
Hey.
these fights. I can actually have a good fight for once.
Don't
Woo!
don't rip off their arm.
I make no promises. As Jackalope, you just see him take off his shirt. Oh, by the way, Hunter, as he walks over, disconnecting his weapon hand.
Oh.
You mind holding these for a while?
He
I don't
shrugs
wanna-
and takes it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
As he hands you both his gauntlets. Now he's just got a nub and a normal hand.
Have fun with that.
Just
All right.
hands you what's left of his tattered shirt and upper thing.
All right, Hunter. Is that your name or your occupation?
Name and occupation.
Oh, damn. Your mama knew exactly what you were getting into. So,
I was
look.
born Mistral, of course you did.
Oh, and we got a forerunner on top. Man, today is just an interesting day. Look, your friend Jackie over there is going to be going right into the thick of it. He's going to go up against a pretty tough opponent. Honestly, I wouldn't say either way who I think is going to win, because Jackie there, he's got an impressive body, but I know who he's going up against. But the thing I got to know is, how much would you be willing to put down on your pal over here as a bet? How much are we talking?
I
How much faith you
legitimately
got?
have no idea how much money Hunter has.
You've got enough to support yourself. I'd say that you have a good amount.
Cool. Oh yeah, I do have enough. Okay. I see enough each week cover my basic needs. So, I'll just shrug and be like, you gonna be able to protect against flying teeth?
You think flying teeth are the worst things that you're gonna see fly? Man, you've not been to a fight club that like this before. Trust me, this is not your standard run-of-the-mill fight club. I have seen exposed bone before I've seen folks give up in the past. This is not the kind of place that you go to expecting, oh, a tooth flew out, or oh, there's a little bit of blood, or I think he coughed out his actual lung. No, this place, this place is incredibly illegal, my friend. Incredible.
Just don't lean over and look at Jack. Hey Jack, you know what I said about breaking? Don't rip off their arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go all out.
And you get the biggest grin in your days.
Oh boy.
All right.
How much you
sorry,
put
what?
down on Jackie?
I'm gonna put down reasonable amount, whatever that may be, like a decently sizable amount.
That's a good. That's not the best bet, but it's a good bet.
Now, I was
think.
told that
Okay.
you had information about the Hunter Academy of Vale, specifically where
Yeah.
to go and whether or
You
not
can-
you might be able to take me there.
Whether or not. Oh, fuck's sake. Let me guess. Bouncers put you up to it.
Indeed.
Yeah, she's always trying to get me to get a job that's not booking bets. We'll talk more about it after the fight, huh?
He shrugs. I'm here as long as Jack is here.
Cool. Then in that case, I'm gonna start with the with the match call. You know, it's gonna. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be good. Oh.
Yeah, Hunter's going to he's gonna like grab like a piece of wood or something out of this piece of wood and kind of like put it next to him.
That the guy stands up and pretty much he sets up a small box on the ground and then stands up on top of it in order to get some good height as he extends his arms out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about this incredible new fight coming up. See, earlier we were seeing some folks coming in from the woodworks. We had all sorts of folks. We had pirates, we had corsairs, we had a couple freelance mercenaries coming in. Hunter, you know, not that hunter. We saw some hunters come in earlier today as well, but let me tell you, we got someone interesting coming in tonight. Not only does he come in with an incredible amounts of chutzpah, let's say, he's got a lot of energy to him that genuinely interests me. And he wants a big fight, a strong fight, the kind of fight that you don't get outside of these here walls. And you know what? I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give him that fight. Because coming up inside of the red corner, we got our friend over here. Good old Jackalope, he said to call him. Now, Jackie here, you can tell he's been through some shit. Take a look at that chest and back. This man looks like he went a couple rounds with an Ursa. And let me tell you, from what I've heard of this guy, the Ursa looks worse. With those scars and the fact that he's missing a whole arm, you might think, oh, he can't be all that good. But honestly, I don't even know what kind of metal he's bringing into this fight with that thing on there. He's so confident, he took off his hands. Look, ma, no hands, and still here, because you don't need hands to kick ass. So how about we get a nice little set of applause for Jackalope here, because he's going to need it once I announce who his opponent is going to be.
An Ursa? You kidding me? That thing is weak and boring.
Oh, well, goodness gracious. You end up hearing a lot of applause throughout the whole area and just ringing out.
I'm just gonna
Lots of
lean
folks seem to
over
be
to the
interested.
announce guy and be like, yeah, I shot one probably a week back or so, and Jack kind of went hand in hand with it. Not one of the biggest things we fought so far, but
Trust me, when it comes to big, you don't got to worry about that. And coming up across from him, I get that he's not the champion. I get that he's not the greatest. He lost earlier tonight, but I think that's just making him even more pissed off. Let's go ahead and get a round of applause. Before he even finishes the word applause, the crowd suddenly starts buzzing with excitement. We'll get a round of applause for the one, the only, Biggie. At that, there's a person inside of the crowd who seems relatively tall, probably about 6.5 feet, not small, until you realize that he's sitting down, and he stands up, and not only is he tall, he's fairly wide as well. Got a fair bit of weight on him in case of fat, but there's clearly a lot of muscle built underneath it. Perhaps most stand out about him is the fact that his right eye is completely swollen shut. It looks like he recently got smacked by probably a whole ass boat right to the face. And rather than having it healed, he seems to be perfectly content to sit around and let it swell. He ends up striding forward, and you can see that the only thing he's currently got on is a pair of boxing briefs, the kind that you see on boxers, as well as a pair of large gloves. Not boxing gloves, but rather the kind of like thick leather gloves. You know, those kinds. He ends up striding forward and ends up taking the side of the arena opposite Jack. Now, for the folks who are just arriving in, that's including you, Jackie, let me go ahead and introduce Biggie here. Biggie, he's the kind of guy that when you need your ship towed, you tell him to swim. He's the kind of guy that when you hear that there's a new Nevermore in the area, you don't tell him to grab a gun, you tell him to grab a spear, and you just hope that wherever the Nevermore lands, it's not going to be on top of a couple of people. And if it is, you just call him to lift up the corpse. Biggie's gone quite a few rounds in here, and he's only lost one round in the last, Biggie, how long you been here again?
6 years, little man. 6 years.
And after 6 years, there was only one loss. He's only lost one fight, and it was against a licensed hunter from the academy. So, I'm not saying your odds are impossible. I would have given you 20-1 odds back earlier today. But after seeing what happened, I'm sorry, Biggie. I'm sorry. I truly am. But I'm going to give this 5-1 odds. I heard what Jackie's gone through. 5-1 odds. Jackie, you're a long shot. But you know what? If I weren't the bookie, I'd be betting it on you. Let's go ahead and see what happens. At that, he gestures for the both of you to take your positions and get ready.
Jackalope takes a stance.
If you break him, it's not a bad thing. Have fun.
Right. I hope the same thing goes for me.
Now, before
Oh
we
yeah,
jump
if you
right
want beat
into
the living
fight,
crap
though,
out of him, he'll probably relish it. Have fun.
before we jump into the fight, though, we will cut back to Katie and Lynn as you both arrive at the tavern. It, considering your superhuman senses, Lynn, and Katie, your attraction to anything small and cute, it's safe to say that the about 5'1" bouncer girl is probably pinging your attention. Once again,
That's the person? Katie's just like,
mean-
you think that's the person?
Well, probably the person that we had to go past into the area, but not them themselves.
Oh,
yeah. As it is, there is the fact that you were told to keep an eye out for anyone who comes in looking to start some stuff with the bouncer. Though,
yeah. Yeah.
Lynn, actually, both of you, can you go ahead and roll me a sense check?
No.
Good
Bruh.
heavens, Lynn.
Was I told to roll a sense as well, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, there we go. Yep. Oh, dang.
Oof.
The dice are having a time.
Yeah,
yeah.
Today is not your lucky day, is it? 4s and 1s all over the place.
Mm.
Now, as you step through, you're feeling pretty good about this. You know, you think you know what's going on, until all of a sudden the door behind you swings open and smacks the both of you on the behind, as you end up being shoved forward unexpectedly.
Wah.
Well, what have we here? It's my favorite little watering hole. In walks in a very large guy, wide shoulders. Most notably, though, his two arms are both completely covered in some sort of large metal gauntlets that go all the way up to the shoulders. His hands look large enough that they could probably squeeze a whole watermelon in the palm of each hand. He also completely ignores the both of you as you've been tossed forward. Notably, the bouncer is now actually standing up and taking a look at him.
Fucking rude.
No, as you get up and turn around, you can also tell that the metal is specifically very green. All right. Oh, it seems that I may have accidentally made a scene. Tell me, you two girls, are you all right? You appear to be eating dirt.
I'm good.
Yeah, we just brush ourselves up. Goodness.
Here, he extends his hand. Let me help you up.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Now tell me, what in the world are a couple of girls looking like you doing in a place looking like this?
Looking for a person.
Waiting around.
Waiting
That's it.
around. Well, if you need some, if you happen to be bored, my folks, my crew around here, we do not have a problem spending a little bit of time making sure that we keep that boredom away from you girls. Hey, Forrest, you go ahead, take these two to one of the tables. You make sure that they stay interested. I'm gonna see how my favorite young lady is doing. As he turns to face the bouncer. How you doing, Saffron? She summarily ignores him, even as he sits down right next to her. All right. Let's see. This is comfy. A guy walks up to the two of you. Is like, "Hey there. If you'd like, we can just take you over to one of the tables, and we'll probably leave you alone after that. The cabin's a little bit rambunctious."
Actually, um, that might be the person we're looking for. Is that the second mate Sage?
Oh no, that's the captain.
Oh, I see. Right.
See,
The captain's into the bouncer. Okay.
yeah. So what do you need Sage for?
It's a package for him.
Package for Sage here?
Yeah.
That's a little odd. Yo, Jewel, go back. Go ask Emerald what's going on. There's a package for Sage. There shouldn't be anything around here for him. But hey, I'm not the postal office, so I wouldn't know. Here. Let's go over to this table over here, and then we can hash this out.
Thank you.
Yeah, leads
I
the both
heal
of you
into
to
the
a small
table.
table. All right. So what kind of delivery are we talking?
It's some sort of box.
Box. Okay. What's the contents? Does it say?
I don't know.
I was told that I couldn't open it.
Oh, okay. Mystery delivery, huh? Forrest should be. Yeah, Sage will be here any minute now. Hopefully the captain doesn't start anything he can't finish, though. He does not stop flirting with Saffron over there. Anyway, do you smell blood? Could both of you go ahead and roll sense?
Oh, what's in the box? Unless there's a fight club down there. Oh,
Your rolls, Lynn. Your rolls.
what rolls?
With a neutral, you can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but yep, there's the smell of blood. Katie, you can't smell anything over the smell of cheap grog. So, yeah. And that he kind of sniffs the air a couple more times, like, oh, the club must be going on down below. You want to wait for Sage down there? It might be more palatable to watch that than watch the captain keep trying to hit on her.
Right. Will you call out for us if Sage comes this way?
Of course. Honestly, I don't feel comfortable with leaving ladies in the same area as the cabin.
Well.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. You head on down.
All right.
Now, I assume that's exactly what the two of you do?
Sure.
Cool. You two of you end up arriving pretty much on time to see Jackalope and a very large fellow currently standing across from one another inside of what's clearly a fighting ring.
Nice.
Biggie ends up seemingly crouching down a bit, lowering his center of gravity as he takes a look at Jackalope. And of course, the bookie raises his hand, and With a swing down, there's sound. The sound of cutting air almost rings out like a gunshot before the two of you are now able to move forward. Now, Biggie's fast, but honestly, given his size, Jackalope is going to end up being faster no matter how it goes. So you go ahead and you make the first move, Jackie.
So, what exactly does he do when he tries to head for Jackalope?
So it's clear he's trying to close the distance. Both of his hands are kind of splayed outwards at to the side. His face is surprisingly open, all things considered, especially since it looks like his eye is halfway to swollen fully shut. You're not entirely sure, but he might be going for a grapple.
Given his size, the way he would be running if he's going for a grapple, his face may seem exposed, but it's likely a strategy. Jackalope would just take the opportunity to shove him fully to the ground. If he's gonna go for a grapple, he's lowered his center of gravity. He may be more stable, but if he's running forward, his center of gravity is gonna be off. Jackalope would take the opportunity to just hammer him down into the ground by going above him.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a dex in order to do that. Like moving above him in order to get a good shot. Okay, that's
Hello.
solid. Now in his case, he does not have 4d6. With one more
Hello.
with one more success than you, what ends up happening is that as you end up going for the swing down in order to hit him from on high, so that you'll be able to drive him into the ground, you do end up landing the blow, and it slams against the top of his head. But it seems that he's more than ready for it, as one of his hands goes to the ground in order to press down to make up for the difference, as his shoulder slams into your stomach. Go ahead and roll endurance to see how it affects you. It barely does.
My
Go ahead
God,
and roll.
man.
Oh, nope. Actually, I was about to call for your semblance. However, your semblance cannot function in the absence of aura, so this area cuts that off. Yeah, you take his full weight slamming right into your stomach, but honestly, you barely even feel it. He might be a good 400 pounds of mixed muscle and fat, but at this point, you're pretty sure you've taken Ursa hits that are worth at least twice of that. You end up managing to get pushed back a fair bit towards the edge of the ring, but you're suffering no damage from it, as you are now in very close proximity to him. What would you like to do?
Well, he's in my fighting range, and I'm a boxer. He's gonna take a heavy kidney jab.
Okay. With the fact that he's let's see, given the fact that his shoulder is placed into your stomach region and his incredible height, I'm not sure your arm is long enough to hit him in the kidney.
If not
Because
the
he was
kidney,
6'5" while sitting.
yeah. If not the kidney, probably a rib shot.
Okay. You should be able to angle it to hit the back of his rib pretty good. Go ahead and roll me a strength. Damn.
Wow. Not a success,
Well,
but no failures either.
That's true. Let's see. Let's see how his endurance looks. Exactly one success. You end up managing to land a pretty hefty blow, but it ends up not being able to do very much damage, similar to his charge against you. He ends up placing his shoulder with his shoulder against your stomach. You end up feeling the hand that's not on the ground reach around to try and grab you over the back, as he then tries to lift you straight up. Go ahead and roll a strength check to go against him.
Suplex.
Nice. Okay, so that's one success. And you're not the only one rolling a whole bunch of fours. You manage to fight him down on that, and instead of being able to lift you off the ground, you end up getting him pretty much stuck in position. He ends up having to adjust his head a little bit lower, and you're noticing that at this point, you could probably wrap an arm around his neck from the positioning as it is, if you were going for that.
Yeah, I would.
All right. What kind of technique you want to use? Something just strength-based or something a bit more dexterous?
Honestly, given this guy's trying to fight Jackalope with Dex, and Jackalope is looking for something entertaining, he would meet him in the strength department.
Okay. We talking like grabbing by the neck and then pulling backwards in order to drive him down? That kind
Something
of thing?
that nature. That or just pick him up by the neck.
Well, I'll tell you right
Using
now,
his
picking him
size.
up is harder than just trying to drop him, but if you want to go for it, I
Look,
ain't stopping you.
I have to make an attempt, and Jackalope isn't gonna go for the easy thing. He wants the hard and fun thing.
All right, go ahead and roll strength. 1 degree of success, and it's going to be his strength plus 1. Y'all, okay, well, almost matching. Both of you got 1 success in a series of 3s, but he got a 4. You know what? I'm still going to call it a tie. As it is, you're able to start lifting him, and for a moment, it seems like you're going to be able to get him off of the ground. You can hear the whole crowd, just the energy around it is electric as you hear the murmuring of, like, no way, no way, before he ends up steadying his body a bit more and shoves forward. You would
I love
normally
how
go over
both of
the
you tried
line
to
of the
pick
ring.
each other up, and you're just like, nah.
This is a grapple match at this point.
Yeah. As he pushes you back, you end up going back towards the edge of the ring, but instead of going over it, you instead feel something solid as you're slammed backwards into what feels like a wall behind you. Seems the same tech that's preventing the function of aura is also serving as a wall around the area. Go ahead and roll endurance for that.
Oof.
That was not a fun slam.
Yeah, that one, it ends up hurting bad. As you were trying to do the lift, you'd ended up curving your spine just a little bit in order to try and get a good grip around his neck, which means that that little bit of extended spine just slammed right into a wall. It feels about as comfortable as a mallet to the spine, so not great. It seems that he's perfectly fine just trying to slam you into the wall repeatedly. If you'd like to try and do something to turn the tables in that regard, though, go right ahead.
Well, since he's trying to slam me into the wall, best to get out of his grip entirely. So Jackalope would take the grip on his neck and use the ability and get over him, more or less jumping over him to some extent.
Okay, go ahead and make a dex roll.
Please, there we go.
Dang. Yeah, I don't
Critical
think he's going to be able to beat that.
success.
Woo!
Yeah, no. Critical success versus a full neutral. Not only are you able to break you're able to break his grab, and as for what you do afterwards, you go ahead, you describe that to me with your critical success. You got free reign.
So when Jackalope's spine hits, he feels it, that momentary pain, and then it's like, oh yeah, typically when people are like this, you just wrap around behind them. I have control of his neck, so Jackalope would grab his jugular, twist upwards using the momentum from his large body and him trying to continuously slam Jackalope further and further into the wall, and basically using that and using his jugular kind of as a swing to move himself up onto his back and then jumping off of, using him as a springboard,
Okay.
letting
So
go
you're able
only
to,
at the last moment on his neck.
as you do that, it's clear that as you squeeze back on the neck, his breathing catches entirely. You swing around with that and you execute upon it perfectly, managing to spring off the back, and probably you can throw in a flip if you'd like before you land.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Very flashy. You got the whole crowd cheering you on right now. A roar of applause and cheers as Biggie ends up reaching around to his throat and touching it with his hand before turning around.
Speedy little shit, aren't you?
Fat ass, aren't you? Lose some weight, dipstick. You'd actually be stronger if you lost a little.
I'm beginning to think that you don't really know how this works.
Maybe.
Okay, kid.
But I do understand one thing. As Jackalope disconnects the arm and tosses it towards him.
You know, I normally take pride in a good win. But, honestly, I'm feeling like I should absolutely shit stomp you. Because if you think you can take me on with only one arm, I'm about ready to absolutely wreck your shit.
No, Jackalope threw it in his face and ran behind it.
Oh, okay. As it ends up going there. He's a little caught off guard by the fact that it through the arm. He ends up swatting it out of the air, but with a distraction. I'm going to say make a speed roll with an additional die because of the distraction.
Not amazing,
Let's
but
see.
Jackalope doesn't really care about his speed as much. It was just meant to be a distraction.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you're going against his sense, and his sense isn't great.
Yeah.
So as he ends up swatting to the side, he loses track of you for a moment as you're able to go into the side region. He's basically open to a good shot if you want to go for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead and make strength, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Nope.
Versus his endurance. All right. I assume that you're. It sounded like you were going for a kidney shot.
Kind of. Jackalope was going for a kidney shot. He was going to use his flexibility to like bend his body in an odd manner that gave him more momentum into the shot.
Okay. As you end up landing into him, it ends up slamming fairly hard into it. However, notably, your fist, as it starts sinking in, a good amount of the mass of him, especially the fat, ends up absorbing more of the impact than expected. Especially as he steps away from you and rolls with the punch.
You take boxing.
Go ahead and make a dex roll real quick.
Oh yeah.
Damn. You end up outdoing him by 1 point. As he rolls with the punch, he carries a huge amount of the momentum as his left hand swerves into a hard hook. You're just able to pull away from it in time, but given the amount of speed that it was moving at, it would have ended very badly if you had taken a full unprotected blow like that, considering how much weight and momentum he put behind it.
You're really fun, you know.
I might have taken a few boxing matches in the past. And you're not too bad yourself.
Honestly, Aura gets a little boring sometimes.
Why do you think I come and fight here?
I like you. You're fun.
2 tons of fun, they used to call me.
I believe it.
At that, he takes a step back and readjusts his stance, as you note that rather than the open palmed stance that he opened with, he's now taking up more of a traditional boxing stance, protecting his face, not that it is within most folks' range anyway. He seems to be defensively preparing for your next attack.
1 arm box.
And you see Jackalope kind of like look at the arm that's now on the ground. Well, it kind of was kind of useless. It had no fist on it. I'm not here to stab people. I'm here to fight people. Whatever. As Jackalope takes an outboxer position, having his main arm somewhat extended, and his feet start to hop.
All right, little rabbit. Come on. Show me what you got.
Sadly, I never really got to get into the ring. Did get the chance. So let's see if all that...
You're in the ring right now.
Exactly. So this is a perfect opportunity to really remember what I was taught.
He seems to be continuing to wait for you to take an action.
Yep. As Jackalope would do a rush.
All right.
Not aiming for anything specific, but more or less just seeing what he can get with one arm, fully forcing out hits.
Okay. As you end up doing the rush, your blows end up landing fairly well, but between the natural padding that the fat gives him and the fact that he's pretty well trained in rolling with the hits, he manages to not quite deflect, but minimize the amount of damage he's taken from each of the hits as he continues taking a couple of steps back as you pressure him. A moment later, though, the hairs on the back of your neck seem to stand on end as you note his positioning shifts just a bit. Those reflexes from your time in the bomb squad are now ringing out something fierce. Go ahead and make a dex save. Damn, that's pretty good.
Bro, your defense is on point
Oh!
today. Oh, his
Why?
offense is more on point though.
With 3 successes, you all with given that your defensive roll was still filled with 2 successes, you are able to avoid taking the full blow of it. However, as his hand surges through the air, you can't help but notice that your body turned way faster than it probably should have, and you're now feeling a little bit off. You're not quite punch drunk, but you definitely feel off about it. And you can also feel blood dripping down from a portion of your face, as it seems that his knuckle caught right along the skin and seemed to tear off some of the skin of your cheek.
Man, I haven't had blood like that in a while.
Yeah. Without any that aura, becomes a lot easier to shed blood around here. Feels good though, doesn't it? That good old rush.
Good old rush, huh? Yeah. Reminds me of my buddies, honestly. As Jackalope's just grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, you can tell that Biggie is also grinning wide as well. Most of the crowd has gone fairly quiet. That the electric energy hasn't faded at all as they continue to watch over what's currently going on. Let's see. Lynn, I'm gonna want Lynn, Katie, and Hunter to all roll sense.
Okay.
Okay. 2 neutrals and a pass. Lynn, Katie, you can hear that something seems to be going on upstairs. Hunter, you can hear that someone just slammed into the ground upstairs, something heavy, and there's some creaking of the ceiling right now.
Concerning, but
little
no
disconcerting.
gunshots so far. So he's just gonna look up for a second and look at like possibly some like dust falling from the ceiling. Just shrug and look back at Jack and just do a motion check for like might want to wrap this up here soon with a hand motion.
Jack, do you even notice him? Oh, he does. Okay.
Jackalope would, because he still technically has stuff he's got to do at some point. So he kind of like.
It's not like a super urgent motion. It's just when wrap it up somewhat soon.
Yeah, as Jackalope kind of catches that at the corner of his eye, and his focus goes back on his opponent. Is there any openings in his actual anything?
Not while he's holding still like this. It's a very strong defensive stance. There's no real open there. You could try and reveal a quote unquote opening in your own stance in order to invite him to take an action, but as long as he's standing there waiting for you, it seems like he's got flawless defense.
Jackalope would stand straight up in a non-boxer position and just wait.
You know, I know you're playing me, but I don't care.
He ends up taking a step forward and immediately going for a massive overhead blow with the meat of the side of his hand. I blanked on the word hand. He ends up going for a pretty fast blow. Go ahead and roll Dex to evade versus his.
Jackalope would meet it with his own fist in that moment.
Oh, we can go ahead and make that a strength roll instead. Okay, so a total of 2 successes versus 0.
Oh,
As you
boy.
end up impacting hard against one another, there's a pretty significant sound of a crunch as the bone that you impact against, you end up hearing it shatter pretty definitively. Dude bites down very hard as he ends up taking a step back. Considering that blow, he's now open on his right side, or for you perceiving, it would be on your left.
Yeah. And Jackalope would not hesitate. Using his own flexibility, he would go for. I mean, he steps into his stance, and you know how like you see boxers do uppercuts, where they get
Mhm.
extremely low to the ground. If
Yeah,
Jackalope's hand
also
was
for
any
that extra
lower,
buildup.
yeah, if Jackalope's arm was any lower, with the weird flexibility he has, he would be scraping his knuckle with the ground.
Okay.
That's a lot of distance to cover, and that's a lot of buildup. Oh boy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so with 2d, he does have one skill. Go ahead and make me a strength roll with an additional d6. Your last d6, even if it's a 1, will not count as a fail. Like I said, even if that last die is a 1, it does not count as a fail. With that success, though, as you swing in, it hits hard. Where are you aiming?
His chin, technically. Jackalope would be going
Okay.
for kind of a heavy glancing blow to rattle his brain.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a percentile real quick.
A percentile of what?
D100, yeah.
D100.
Holy moly.
Damn. He was expecting you to go for a kidney shot or something or a stomach blow, or even a shot to the ribs, also that you could leave him winded, damage those lungs what you can, so that he can't breathe right. What he wasn't expecting was for you to surge upwards and land a hit in his least armored position. Their stomach, chest, sides, all those things, they got a good amount of fat, but you show me a man with a fat chin, and I'll tell you now, I'm gonna be a little confused. You end up feeling the impact hard right on your knuckles. It hurts like hell when you impact against that bone. But given the fact that the lights go out for a moment in his eyes, you're pretty sure you just landed a concussion on that sucker. And having hit that punch button, he stumbles backwards a bit, and it's clear he loses consciousness for a second and nearly falls backwards completely before just barely managing to catch himself on the ground.
Yep.
He
Jackalope,
looks dazed.
yeah, and Jackalope would not hesitate at this moment. He was told to wrap it up. As much as he wanted to continue to enjoy this fight, it's obvious to him that if Hunter's telling him to wrap it up, something's going on. And he wouldn't be boxing
Okay.
anymore. He would immediately surge forward and kneeing him in the face. Muay Thai style.
Okay, go ahead and make a dex roll.
The flying knee. Oh, Corn.
That's a critical success.
Oh, Corn.
So, with 3 more successes than the opponent, that makes for a critical success. Your flying knee catches him right in the. It does not hit him in the chin. It does not hit him in the nose. It does not hit him in the good eye. It hits him in the eye already half swelled shut, and not only does that partially add insult to injury, it adds injury to injury. Because a moment later, you're sure the lights are out, because there is no one home with the way that his head just hit that ground. Boy's going to have a concussion probably for a while now, and he's not standing back up for the rest of this fight. Not with a critical success knee straight to the face after getting his punch button struck. Biggie is dropped to the ground, and there is some massive cheering going on, as well as a fair bit of jeering from folks who clearly did not go for the long odds bet.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the announcer guy. You might want to get a medic.
Oh no, Biggie's taking harder hits than that. What we need to get him is an ice pack and off the damn floor.
As Jackalope walks over, picks up his arm, he verbally says, I think I broke his skull, actually. You actually might want to get a medic. I did that to kill people back in the military. He's just big enough that it wouldn't kill him.
Jackie, I believe you. I'm saying the reason we get him out of the ring is so his aura starts patching him up real fast.
Oh, right.
Because,
the thing.
Right? Yeah, it's easy to forget when you're inside of the ring, but I ain't strong enough to drag that guy.
Here, I got him. As Jackalope just picks him up by the scruff of his neck and drags him out.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll strength. With a critical success, you're
Oh
fine,
my
my
God,
guy.
By the way, he's
Jackalope.
doing this. He's just doing this with one arm at the moment. Like he hasn't put on his other arm yet. As you just see him
Your other
grab the
arm
other-
is slowing you down at this point, man. Come on.
My
Yeah,
goodness.
as he
Yeah.
picks it up,
So
it just drags him
you open this session. Yeah, you open this session with fail after fail after fail, and then you're just gonna hit multiple critical successes back to back. I guess that's just how it works. God damn.
Yeah. As Jackalope sits him in a chair, walks back to the ring, picks up his arm, puts it on, and simply says this to the announcer: "I was enjoying my fight, so I was holding back. Sadly, it looks like something's going on, so I had to finish it."
Something's going. I smell pork. A moment later, the door is slammed open as as someone shouts, "All right, break it up!" And in walks a person with a not a familiar outfit per se, but something that Hunter ends up recognizing as some fairly official looking uniform of what's got to be a Hunter graduate from Vale.
I'll look at him and just be like, fight's already broken up.
Yeah, that's not exactly all that I meant.
No.
This whole shindig, this ain't legal. Anyone here who's been handling bets, I'd suggest making sure that you hold still. I got a couple of folks up there who's more than happy to end up pursuing you down if you start running. In the meantime, fuck's sake. I set this whole thing up to make sure that the bookie. Where's the bookie?
Don't look at him.
You all look around. Bookie's gone. You're
It's
not
okay.
even sure how or why. Well, actually, Lynn is the only one with the senses required to be able to detect it. So if Lynn rolls high on her sense, she'll be able to tell where the bookie just darted to.
I'm just gonna let him go though, but yeah.
Well, with success, you know that he escaped. He got away thanks to the fact that his semblance, whatever it is, when he used it, let him suddenly shrink down and he darted away real fast, right out of sight. You ain't got to say a thing, though, if you want to let him go.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
Hunters
Every
just
time
don't
I-
look at where he was and then sigh and look at the hunter. Do you know how to get to Vale Academy?
Squeeze me?
Do you know how to get to the Hunter Academy?
Who's asking?
A hunter from Mistral. Hunter, technically a student, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Show me ID.
I'll reach in and pull out my ID and hand it to him.
Yeah, while you're handing him the idea, Jackalope just walks up, taps you on the shoulder. "Can I have my hand back?"
I'll use my other hand to hand it to you with your
As
shirt.
this guy just sees this probably somewhat bloody person grab the hand, put it on his prosthetic, connect it, move it around, grab his other gauntlet from wherever he has it, and his shirt and cloak, and puts those back on. So, are we not fighting anymore?
Not at the moment. We're getting going, it sounds like.
Okay.
Glad you had fun.
The fighting's fine. The large-scale gambling isn't.
Well, none of us
Look,
bet,
either of the
so-
two of you end up putting down.
I
Okay.
was
The
here
fact
purely
that
for
you're
the fight.
Australian-
Oh, so I typically take money from the people I beat rather than, betting it?
Did you just admit to committing robbery?
It's not robbery if they fight you first. It's what's the word? Oh, right.
Looting?
It's payment for charges. For damages, more or
That's
less.
still theft.
No, it isn't if they're the one who started the
That-
fight.
No,
Okay,
it's still
for the
legally
damage they
theft.
caused to me.
Fighting over
That's to
here.
be determined by a court of law. Damages to be reimbursed are determined by a judge, not. I'm beginning to think I need to take you downtown, kid.
Hey, look at the bright side. As Jack kind of snaps with his normal hand, you can't prove it because you don't have the witnesses.
Hunter sighs.
No, I just have an actual confession.
but they weren't committed on this land's property either. I traveled from outside.
You're
of
Mistrali too, aren't you?
He is. He's with my
yeah,
crew.
right.
Technically, I'm from the desert. Was it the desert? I don't remember. I kind of just woke up in a desert one day, and I don't remember where that was.
Cool. Well, you're right. I actually can't prosecute you for crimes committed in Mistral because that's not how the legal system works.
Neat.
You're a hunter. Hunter. God. Your mother must have known exactly what you were getting into.
I was born Mistral, of course she did.
Thing is, does your friend here have an outstanding warrant in Mistral?
No.
Then there's nothing I can do about it. Okay. Look, if you're looking to get to Vale, and that was a legitimate license, honestly, I'd say just go west. Just go west. Follow a bunch of the roads. You're probably fine. It shouldn't be hard to find a guide. And I ain't exactly going to leave my post in order to walk you there.
Fair enough.
Oh, right. These licenses are supposed to do things. As Jackalope pulls out the thing he got from being on Hunter's team. Is that what this is?
Those things meant things?
Hunter has the most disappointed dad look on his face.
You know what? Like, I do my best to try and treat everyone who comes from everywhere equally, but you're really living up to the stereotypes of Mistrali.
What are the stereotypes? Elaborate, please.
Violent thieves.
I mean, I'm violent.
Organized crime?
Not familiar on that front, actually.
Well, he doesn't really do much crime, and he's not super organized, so...
He literally just... Nope, I'm not dealing with this.
Hey,
you're not a criminal according to Vale law, so this is none of my business.
I can make the argument, sir, that it was for survival.
You could also make the argument that you had just, said the wrong statement, maybe.
That would be lying. I'm not a liar. I am many things, Hunter.
Good to know that's where you draw your moral line, sir.
Look, survival is important. I can't help it that I had to do things to survive.
So,
okay.
Look.
Just scram. Don't commit crimes here in Vale. Just don't.
I can promise you he will not commit any crimes in this town.
That we know of.
I didn't say in this... No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I don't commit crimes.
I have
things to do, and I have money. I don't have to steal from people anymore. I even got this neat phone.
just get lost.
Alright, cool. Well, thanks for your time.
Bye, random stranger.
Didn't you steal that phone?
Goodbye, random
no,
citizen.
I was handed this phone after we met with our friends. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Different phone, right.
I did a job we did a job for them that required us to deal with some Grim. And they paid me in a phone that I didn't have beforehand.
Yeah, I was thinking of that other phone.
I think that one broke. Actually.
The cop is very clearly, pointedly gesturing for you to leave before you continue that sentence.
Well,
he does not want to overhear you talking about another crime.
Well, hey. I gotta stick around to meet a guy, so yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
He's probably upstairs. Unless I look around the room, he's for some reason down here. Is she looking for anyone down here?
Well, the guy was gonna tell us if the guy showed up. Just flip an, I don't know, shout or something, but I can pop upstairs.
What happened upstairs, by the way, that you were motioning me to finish that fight?
Someone started pounding some stuff upstairs, which probably meant that I gestured to the hunter. He was going to come down and interrupt your fight early. I figured you would want to finish your fight without someone telling you to.
Yeah, that'd be unsatisfactory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
As
pop upstairs.
yeah, as you do, you can clearly see that the captain currently is sporting a black eye and a bruised cheek, and is currently seated and just sitting very, very quietly at a nearby table, while the bouncer seems to be talking to one of the police. Notably, you can see that Forrest, the guy from earlier, is currently talking with someone else in a green outfit that you don't recognize. When he spots you, he gestures for you to approach.
Hi. How you doing?
Doing all right. Could be a little bit better if I'm being honest, but I don't think anyone was expecting a raid today.
Mm-hmm.
Why was there a raid?
Anyway, you were looking. Apparently, the bookie downstairs has a long history of illegal gambling, and they keep trying to book him for it.
Ah. If you had told
So-
me that, I probably I look at the bouncer. If you had told me that, I would have kept a closer eye on him.
We don't rat out family.
He shrugs.
Anyway, was the guy here yet?
Oh yeah, this is him. Gestures the person next to him. There's
Hi.
nothing green about his outfit or his clothes or even his eye color. He's got the deepest red eyes you've ever seen. And he's like, "Hey, name's Sage. You got a delivery?"
Wanna check him.
Yeah.
Check
Banana,
him.
if you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 second.
If you need ID, I think
Is he
I
Sage?
think I have it somewhere in here. He reaches into his pocket and he's like, "There it is." Pulls out his ID, and sure enough, it says Sage, no last name provided, and it's got an image of him.
When I sense rolled, what did I gather?
You gathered that he seems to be telling the truth. This does seem to genuinely be Sage.
Go on, look at
Alright.
Lynn.
Here's
What did y'all
that,
do
and I'm
while we were
gonna
down
just
there?
dial. I take out the scroll and I start dialing Mercury's number, and I hand him the box and one thing, and I give him the phone, and say, "Can you just say, hey, I got the box. My name is Sage."
Oh yeah, I've got I was just gonna hand you the passphrase, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I can say
Cool.
it myself.
Cool.
A moment later, a dude picks up and it's like, "Yellow, yellow, this is Mercury here. What can I do you for?" He's like, "Yo, fuck, what was it? Minos left the labyrinth? Oh, good. You don't sound like either of the pretty young ladies."
We're over here.
Oh, well, it's probably, oh, there you are. Okay, good. It's probably fine. Yeah. Thanks for the delivery. Where do you want your thing?
My thing? Our thing?
The thing. Yeah, the thing. Container, fridge size, dust. The thing.
We can pick it up where we met you, or you can deliver it to the bar.
Well, you can definitely pick it up where you met me. I just won't be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I think because when I saw some signs that there's a hunter doing a raid there, and I'd like to get out of here before you know.
Oh, I see. Well,
Mhm. Better
if
keep
that's a
it down
fine
low.
place, then that works.
Yeah. And did you say the bar?
Yeah.
The one currently getting raided?
Yeah.
Neat.
It's pretty, yeah.
You
It's pretty calm over here.
You're not cops, right?
Do
You got to
sound
tell me
like
if you're a cop.
Do I sound like a
Well,
cop?
I mean, I would have said no earlier, but right now, I mean, you're right in the middle of a raid.
I'm not cop material.
Nah.
Well, the goose maybe. But yeah.
He seems indignant at that idea.
You could be like a double agent cop. Like
Oh, you could
like
be
a-
the bad. Do you want to be the bad cop or the good cop?
Ooh, yeah, the goose. You could be the bad cop. You could be like the glass cannon.
Oh,
Nice.
wait, the
Oh,
goose
yeah.
could be the bad cop though.
The goose ruffles his feathers and shakes his body side to side. Katie, go ahead and roll sense +1.
Okay.
Well, it's neutral. You don't get the full details of it, but it's clear that he's not. If the goose had choice on which side he'd be standing on, he wouldn't be standing on the side of the law. He's a big fan of goose crime.
Understandable. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I should have realized. This is. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Speaking of the goose, do y'all need the thingy, the fob thing?
Key fob.
Thing.
Like, oh yeah, you go ahead, do the thing, pass him the key fob. I don't care. I'm gonna leave the box on the dock. Go pick it up before it gets stolen. I'm gonna get out of here because there's cops nearby, and there ain't any cops in earshot of you right now, are there? You know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. I'm not doing anything illegal at all.
Right. And
God,
thank you
Nick
for
Reed
our
sounds
totally
like he's telling the
legal
truth.
box. Thank you for our totally legal
Mhm.
box. Thank you.
Who all
Very
knows
legal.
the big... By the way, does
What?
anyone know the... As Jackal goes on, does anyone know the big guy downstairs is 6'5" when he's
Oh.
sitting?
Oh, you mean Biggie, right? The
Yeah.
barkeep shouts out.
Yeah. Do you mind telling him
Yeah,
that I
let me
lost
guess.
my
You
arm?
got it.
Does someone mind telling him that I lost my arm to my own semblance, rather than something else?
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, sounds good to me. I'll relay that.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. He lose again.
He'll wake up eventually.
To be fair, I did kind of knee him in the face. It may be a day or two.
It was heckin' epic.
I'm not letting him live this down. Guy's been riding on a hot streak for 8 years now. He would not shut the fuck up about it. Thanks for that.
Jackalope gives him a thumbs up.
At least I hope he wakes up eventually.
Oh, he's
Obviously-
fine. He always gets up. His semblance is like outrageously powerful. It's auto healing. The dude patches himself up right quick as long as he's either unconscious or not being so stupid as to let his to suppress it.
Jackalope just... To be fair, no one was using aura down there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that tech is illegal.
Oh.
But hey, what do I know? I'm just a barkeep. I don't know what's going on in the basement. That's completely different. He's clearly looking at the cops. He's like, "Yep, had nothing to do with me."
Well, if anyone
Cool.
ever hears about a fighting thing that doesn't involve illegal gambling and can get into contact with me, please do. I like a good fight, specifically spar and or blood sport. Just no
Hey,
betting.
anyone who can take out Biggie's got to be a big fan of blood sports. I will keep you in mind,
Jackalope.
Metal Man. Jackalope. Yeah, I'll keep you in
Yeah.
mind.
Jackalope walks over and hands him his number. Let this number know.
Cool. I'll make sure that you're the first person on the call if I'm ever doing a blood sport that is entirely legal with no gambling.
Jackalope thumbs up. To be fair, it's more fun that way without it anyway. More for the rush that way.
Yeah.
I want to look at Lynn and Katie. What the hell
A
did you
fridge
two do while we were gone?
Well, I ordered a fridge, and I gotta go pick that up. I'm gonna start going.
He looks
Talk to
at
random strangers.
He looks at you with the most like dad face when their daughter is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to a party." Just the fuck?
Oh, we're picking up a fridge?
Yeah.
Do I need to carry it?
Yeah.
Into the warehouse and stuff something inside of it.
Oh, are we dealing with that weird thing?
Yeah, it's going in the fridge.
Okay.
Let's
Jackalope
go.
kind of hops over as she's in a good mood right now.
Yep.
Hunter looks so confused.
We're all going.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
it's now
Cool.
9 p.m., and I feel like this seems like a perfectly good place to wrap up the session now that y'all got a fridge.
Yeah.
Amount of critical successes that Jackalope got. Jesus Christ.
He likes
He
his
took
fights.
all the successes that we missed the entire time.
The entire last 4 episodes, he got all the ones that we failed on.
And I'm not gonna get a single success for about 3 more episodes. Watch.
every important section, like Jackalope roll natural one. I want to see a critical fail. We have not seen a critical fail yet, which is shocking to me.
I mean, I've had a critical fail. It was a
Yeah,
critical
we
fail
did.
in judgment on the player's part. Yes, because Jackalope's missing an arm.
He decided to see what
It may
he
have been a nat
would
20,
do.
but that's still in its own way a nat 1.
You know
Oh,
what?
God.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Katie's definitely gonna want to know what's inside the box, but that can wait for later.
Who knows?
It's like, well, we finished the delivery. Now to open
I,
the
I,
box.
I assume you give him the
What's in
key
the
fob
box?
from the goose's neck and not have him
Yeah.
desperately try to grab the goose's throat. Come here, goose!
Yeah.
Come here!
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be enough for tonight. We will continue
Uh-huh.
next week, and your travel across Saunus in order to reach Vale. All for the
Alright.
purpose of visiting Beacon Academy, figuring out what's going on, and stuffing a gospel in the fridge, I guess.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, hopefully you guys all enjoyed. If you guys did, feel free to head over to Tables of Tartarus in order to see some of the other VODs of the series. We are going to be posting or live streaming some recap videos for the last 2 episodes of Jumpchain, which we're actually going to be calling episode 12. Yes, episode 12. And this is episode 13. That way you guys kind of know what happened earlier because we lost a lot of audio for that. We're also going to be posting episode, I believe, 26 as a recap episode for Shifting Fates. So you guys also know what's going on there, as we also had another one that lost audio. And if you guys want to go to Vods of Valhalla, you guys can see us come by tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yes, tomorrow, as me and Jackalope play some Monster Hunter and desperately attempt to beat the ever-living crap out of some monsters without getting our shit wrecked like Mr. Biggie.
Don't worry. I am in Monster Hunter. I really am Jackalope. There's a reason
Alright.
you've made it this far so far, young man.
Damn straight. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will see all of you fine folks on the next episode. Bye!
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
See ya.